Well, Darren, that's a fourth defeat in a row in the Championship. What's your initial reaction to the match?
One of disappointment. Won a game we were well in. I thought we were the better team up until the hour mark. And our biggest problem at the moment, anyone can see, we've just got this terrible habit at the moment of when we concede so quickly after. It makes it so difficult for us. Away from home, we've done it 3 times out of 4. It's a big problem. It's something that I need to root out somehow. And that, I think, at the moment is our biggest problem.
What do you think is behind that issue of conceding quick goals in quick succession? Is it a matter of switching off and thinking too much about the first goal and not being fully engaged to react to the state of play?
I think you'd have to ask the players that question, because I can only stand in the touchline and I just know factually that we're losing too many goals straight after one, and that's a problem.
Yeah, going into this game, changed things up a bit, didn't you? Played 4 at the back, trying to keep things a bit simple. What was your overall assessment of how you lined up today and how you adapted to the change in shape?
The change in shape was one I don't play too often, but it's one that I thought simplified it, and it did for the players. I thought our shape was very, very good, both on the ball and off it. We wanted to get it to Dems and Wardy wide as much as we could in terms of getting crosses into the box. And we did that to a degree. I thought the first half was quite cagey between 2 teams that maybe lacking a bit of confidence, but then we grew into the game. The goalkeeper made 2 very good saves for them. I didn't feel too troubled by them at all. And we just spoke at half time about just upping it a little bit to go and try and win the game. We felt that we had a good opportunity of winning it. Then they get a free kick and the boy scores, and then a minute later it's 2-0, and you're thinking, where's that come from? But that's where we're at the moment, unfortunately. We said the same on Saturday. We said the same in the first game of the season. A team score and they go bang bang, and that's not so much the level. That's just from us the concentration.
Yeah, is it any consolation in a way that they were generally really good strikes? You know, the free kick, for example.
No, none at all. No consolation.
Okay, let's talk about the posh goal. Nathan Thompson pegging you back later on in the game. Joe Ward with a fizzing cross. What do you make of Thompson's return to the starting 11, wearing the captain's armband as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's a big player for his, 1, because of his experience, and 2, because of his quality. He can play centre half in a 3, he can play right back as he did tonight. He links up well with Joe, and I thought he did that well. That was a real threat down that side. You know, we just needed Joe to get more crosses in. Good free kick and a good finish, and it got us right back in the game. And you know, the message to the players was, even if it goes to the last minute, you've still got a chance, because you know, psychologically things like that play a part in a game. And Reading had lost a late goal here on Saturday. We were aware of that, but the 3rd goal, to be fair, the boys stuck it in the stanchion, which, you know, it's a good finish.
Attacking wise, were there any concerns for you at all? Johnson Clark-Harris didn't really seem to have much of a sniff today, and in terms of breaking the lines from midfield, do you think there could have been more intensity going forward?
Well, there can always be more. To say Johnson Clark-Harris didn't have a sniff is a shocking assessment of his performance, I've got to be honest.
Okay. So what did you make of Clark-Harris's return? You left him out on Saturday.
I did leave him out on Saturday, and I thought I got a good reaction out of him on Saturday, and the way he reacted to being dropped. I thought he was a handful tonight. I think if you asked Reading centre halves, he would say he was a handful. He missed 1 really good chance in the second half when it was 2-1. But to say he didn't get a sniff, I think it's a bit harsh. But look, listen, that's your opinion, that's no problem. I think him and Jack linked up very well at times. Obviously Jack's come off with an injury, we'll have to just assess that and see how he is. But no, Jono can be a handful. We just need to get him fitter. He knows that, the boy. But he had one big chance. His big chance in the game was a 2-1 when he's missed a header. I think he just jumped too early.
Yeah, good point. Is the Marriott-Clark-Harris partnership you're looking to strengthen so far? I mean, going forwards the rest of the season, obviously Marriott pulling up with what looked like a hamstring potentially injury. Is that a bit of a blow?
Well, we have to see it is if it's a proper hamstring injury. I think it's just cramped up, is what he said. But yeah, look, we've got plenty of options up front depending on what formation we play. I like generally to play 2 up front. You would like to think we can get some sort of a partnership going. It's the first time we've played Jono, Jack and Dembele in the same team. It's the first time I've managed to be able to start all 3 of them due to fitness situation. And there was many things tonight I've seen that were positive. There was. We've lost the game. It makes no difference, you know. But we need to dig deep. I just said to them, I need to, you know, my job's to keep the confidence in the camp. We're suffering a bit at the moment, which can happen at this level. But we need to dig deep, and we need to get a win on Saturday.
No Burrows tonight. Was there any reason behind that?
No. I just felt that the boys played a hell of a lot of games. Mentally, it can be hard for a young player, and quite often I've done it in my career as a manager, where you just take him completely out and give him a break. He trained today. We put Kwame Poko on the bench instead, who has done well recently in training and in the under 23 games. So, listen, it's a squad game. I need to keep mixing them. The good thing is I'm having to make tough decisions most games now. You know, in particular, I would say probably in the middle of the park. I've got 4 excellent centre midfield players. I've got Ronnie Edwards now, who I thought his performance tonight was outstanding for an 18-year-old. So I'm having to make tough decisions, which is good. Good for me anyway.
Yeah, you said going into this game you wanted this to be almost a watershed moment, given the poor run of form. I suppose now that rolls over to Saturday, you'll be glad to be back at London Road.
Yeah, but we can't ignore this away form. We can't rely on our home form all season. That's just not going to work. Our away form generally was okay last season. We need to sort it out. But tonight, anyone that was watching that game, we were well in the game. But when you concede 2 in a minute, it gives you a hard job. Because, look, we concede, fine. We've got 30 odd minutes to go, no problem. We then equalise. Psychologically, the game switches to us, and we are then on the ascendancy, and that's how football works. You need to stay in the game. And at the moment, we're making it too easy for the opposition.
So the plan going into this one was to strip it back, go simple, 4-4-2 and things like that. But looking ahead now, is that the plan to keep it simple and try and enforce these methods into the team?
Well, no, the information we give to the players is good. When I say we made it simple, in terms of, you know, I wasn't too overboard on the information I had to give them. Because when you have a defeat like you did on Saturday, sometimes the tactical things, although are very always important in games, it was more about us really digging in tonight and playing as a team, and I felt we did that. It's just so disappointing to lose the quick goals in succession, and that's a big problem at the moment.
Okay, thank you, Darren.
Any further questions?
Yeah, Darren, you were probably unlucky not to be 2 up at half time the way you played. Is it a case, do you think, that you've got to try and learn quickly stepping up to this level?
Well, we do, because the gap's big. You know, it's getting bigger each year, and you know the club's not been in the Championship for 8 years. And you know, we have worked incredibly hard to get here. You know, we would have got promoted, we felt, this season before, when the season was cut off by COVID. So we had to go again, and it was a hell of an effort to go again and get up promoted. So we've worked very, very hard. We've recruited, we feel well. But you're right, we have to learn quickly, and at the moment we're not. At the moment we're seeing the same things. I'm seeing the same things again, which is, for me, to make the same mistakes twice is enough, but now it's 3 times we've conceded bang bangs. It has to stop, because if it doesn't, the results won't change.